Hello, I'm Wendy Jelbert and welcome to Venice in acrylics. Now Venice is a fabulous place. It's full of light and textures and reflections. An absolute paradise for painters. I've decided to paint this little corner with trees and a gondola. This tracing has been transferred onto my watercolour paper and is now ready for me to work on. Now with this small flat brush, I'm going to put the lights in first, and I'm placing those in at the back, some activity at the back, a bit of white, a bit of pink and a little bit of yellow. So this is behind the gondola and feeds up behind the tree, and then I'm putting some pinky colour and a touch of burnt sienna in through the background here. So this acts as a foil to the tree. So it's a medium tone, and this is like a church at the back. Yeah. And bringing the colour into an orange and a touch of burnt sienna through here. So although it's in shadow, this is going to be in shadow, it's going to be quite colourful to start with. Another piece of burnt sienna with yellow ochre. There we go, into there. These lovely old walls are all crumbling, but a delight to paint. So any artist just adores this scene. It's probably one of the most popular scenes of all, having a gondola and some buildings and a bit of greenery. It's such a beautiful corner. This comes down into the water, still a little bit more orange, and then it turns into a darker tone as it dives into the shadows a bit more. A touch of violet, touch of burnt sienna and a little bit of burnt umber. There we go. So put this in here, around the door, lovely arched door, covering up some of the details I've already drawn, but I can see them through this wash, which will be a good guide for later. Bit of violet running into the umber, and then a little bit of yellow ochre. So it's remained colourful, although in shadow. And into the water it goes. Same colour down on this side. There we go. And just a bit darker as we go up to the top, because there's some kind of greenery, and I think it's a private garden here. So this is umber and violet. There we go here. A few dots depicting some greenery and flowers, and I'm putting some more green in now. Bit of olivey green through here, and getting just some flicks of trees coming up through and coming over that building at the back. So that pushes that building back and into the distance. I'm placing the door, which has got a light surround there. So this is a white with a touch of yellow ochre. Just bring that slightly down into the water as well. I'm going to lose that bit of white. Lovely dark inside of the doors. And this is ultramarine blue and a touch of burnt sienna. So that goes down into there. Lovely yummy colour that is. Beautiful. In that goes there. Wiggle that down into the reflections. Not quite so intense, but still fairly dark. And into the water there. Add a bit more umber with that, so that I'm going to do the windows. One window there, and another one side by side. A little bit darker, and a little bit larger to give the feeling that this is closer to us. And a couple more windows away in the distance. So it gives the feeling of that going right back. And perhaps another door, smaller door, there. But just an impression. Now I'm going to put this into the gondola. That's a violety colour. It doesn't matter that it's run a bit. Violet and burnt sienna, that colour. Lovely curved-ish, there's a lovely curved boat there. And that reflection echoing that curve, putting that curve back out into the water. Right. I'm going to put some light blue mixed with the white up into the sky, and then I can put the greenery across that. So this is cerulean and white up against the background. Doesn't have to be too neat at this stage. And what I'm going to do is to get a lovely piece of that sky into the water, putting that colour. So this will echo into the water, and so will this sky. So in we go. There we go. Some nice big swirls. And this colour of burnt sienna I'm going to put right down into the water again. We'll get a little darker as we go on with the painting there. Another wash over here of a brown colour, because there's something else reflecting in there, a building on this other side. Just showing up through there. Right, and then putting some light steps in through the background and some details of a little embankment there. And then I'm going to let that dry a moment, ready for the next stage. With my number 4 brush, I'm going to place in some real lights in the back of this tree, because I want this to be contrasted against this lighter building. And this is pale yellow with a little bit of cadmium, just a touch of cadmium. So it's got a pinky tinge, yellow ochre, cadmium, just a touch. A little bit of white in there, and this is reflected light against this bit of building at the end. We've got a nice light touch, dragging that over the top, and that going into the water behind the boat. It's all to do with contrasts and showing one shape up against the other. Putting that in there. See, that tucks around that shape beautifully now. Now, with my number 2 brush, I'm putting a darker wash up against here, bringing this corner into much more shade. There we go, just putting this down here. So we're getting much more drama into the whole scene. There we go, into there. And down here. Getting a bit more orangey around here. And into the water. going to put a little bit of grey in here, just to calm it down slightly. We've got a bit of grey here. There we are. And a little bit more grey down here. A bit of bluey colour inside the door, because we're losing all the inside of the door into shadow. Fingers are very useful sometimes. Putting that colour in there. And that is the reveal of that door. Perhaps another bit there.